In your business, what are your business growth goals for the coming year? Is it a revenue goal, a sales goal, or is it a profit goal? My suggestion is to focus strictly on a profit goal. Too many times we focus on how can we get additional customers when in reality there's a whole lot we can do internally to improve the profitability of the customers and the traffic that we already have and that we've had in the past. Before we can support a team, before we can bring in additional products if we're selling products, and before we should think about another location if we've got a brick and mortar location, before there's any type of growth, we've got to start with profitability, right? So how are you specifically planning to increase your profit? Not increase sales, but increase profit. What I'd like to share with you right now are the 5 ways that you can increase your profitability. And only 2 out of those 5 ways has anything to do with bringing additional customers in. Okay? So let's start with a simple equation that all business owners understand pretty clearly. Sales minus expenses equals profit. Expenses really represents our overhead, the cost of doing business. These are typically fixed costs. And there's only so much we can do to reduce our expenses to increase that profit figure. The real opportunity is to increase our sales, increase that sales figure. And in Action Coach and in my business coaching practice, what we concentrate on are 5 different ways to split out the activity that's happening in that sales figure, in that sales goal. Okay. We're after 3 results when it comes to sales. We're after more customers, we're after increased revenue, and we're after increased margin or increased gross profitability. But we all know that you don't just go get customers. What actually happens to get customers is we attract prospects or leads out of our target market, our marketplace, people that have raised their hand and interest in having a conversation with you. So we have leads. That's the first of the 5 ways. Next, we convert those leads. And once we convert those leads, we have customers. So the 2 ways that we increase the number of customers we're working with is we attract leads and we convert them. What does that represent as far as activity in the business? When we're attracting leads, we're talking about marketing, of course. And when we're converting those leads, it's all about the sales process. It's marketing and sales. And that yields our customers. So once we have customers to work with, those customers do business with us ever so frequently across the course of a year. So there's an average number of transactions associated with each customer. And there's also an average dollar sale associated with each customer. Each time they do business with us, they leave some money with us, right? So what we do is we take the total number of customers, multiply it by the average number of transactions, and multiply that by the average dollar sale. And that gives us our second result that we're after in sales, our revenue figure. Once we've paid for our materials and our labor associated with delivering our product or service, that gives us our profit margin that we retain out of that revenue figure. Okay? So revenue multiplied times our profit margin percentage gives us our gross profit number. When we look at our average number of transactions, what does that actually represent in our business for activity? The average number of transactions really speaks to the experience that we curate for our customers. The better the experience our customers have working with us, the higher likelihood they're going to do more business with us. And that will increase the number of transactions over time. And when it comes to average dollar sale, the activity that represents in the business is really our pricing strategy, our product assortment, maybe the way we package certain services or products that we sell so that it lends itself to an increased average dollar sale with each transaction over time. The activity profit margin really represents in our business is efficiency. how efficiently do we deliver our product or service? So to recap real quick, our 3 results that we're after are customers, revenue, and gross profit. The 5 ways that we get to those results are leads, conversion rate, average number of transactions, average dollar sale, and our gross margin. If there's one place to focus on testing and measuring in your business that you're not currently testing and measuring, it's the 5 ways. Again, profit has got to come before any other activity really can be effective in our business. And by measuring the 5 ways, we will better understand where there are opportunities for growth in our business. So I'm going to articulate an example so that you can better understand how powerful the 5 ways is in your business. Okay? The example we're going to use is an auto detail business. This business has been around for, let's just say, 2.5 or 3 years. And these folks actually measure their 5 ways. So they know these metrics in their business. And over the last 12 months, in measuring their 5 ways, they know that they had 4,000 leads raise their hand out of the marketplace, and they converted 25% of those leads, so that they have 1,000 customers that they've worked with over the last 12 months. They also know that on average, there were 2 transactions over the course of a year for each customer. Some customers had their car detailed 3 times, some had their car detailed once, but on average it was twice. And the average dollar sale for having their car detailed was $100. That gives us 1,000 customers multiplied by 2 transactions on average, multiplied by $100 average dollar sale. That gives this business a $200,000 revenue for the last 12 months. After paying for the labor and the materials associated with delivering the service of detailing the vehicles, they retained a 25% profit margin. So $200,000 revenue multiplied by a 25% gross margin gave this business over the last 12 months $50,000 gross profit to work with. If you're not familiar with Action Coach at this point has been around for about 28, maybe 28 and a half years. There are more than 3,000 coaches in 84 countries around the world, so there's quite the global footprint. And every week, more than 15,000 businesses are being coached by an action coach. The point being, the system, the 5 ways, has been tested and measured at this point millions of times around the world with millions of businesses, and it works, and it's powerful. The point is, after all of this testing and measuring over all these years, in each of the 5 ways, we have a kind of highlight list of 65 to 90 strategies in each of the 5 ways where a business can look to grow and improve those metrics and that performance in their business. That being said, let's go back to our example with the auto detail business. The auto detail business decides, hey, let's improve what's happening in our business. Let's get serious about our growth, and in particular, let's get serious about our profitability. So we work together in a coaching program with this auto detail business. And over the next 12 months, we work on each of the 5 ways. And just for the example's sake, let's say that we just barely move the needle in each of these 5 areas of this business, okay? So year over year, this business goes from 4,000 leads, and we improve their marketing so that they attract 4,400 leads. To put that into perspective, 400 more leads in a year in a 50-week work year, that's 8 more leads a week. Super doable numbers. These are not outlandish numbers that we're talking about. Conversion rate, an increase of 10% would take it from 25% to 27.5% year over year. That could be as simple as putting someone in the office answering the phones that has just a little bit nicer demeanor answering the phones, and maybe that bumps up their conversion rate by 10%. So the new number of leads, 4,400, multiplied by the new conversion rate of 27.5%, gives us a new total number of customers we're working with of 1,210 year over year. We also work on increasing the average number of transactions. Again, this is all about the customer experience. So perhaps we resurface the parking lot, paint the curbing, and it's really fresh, and there's great signage to enter the facility. Let's say we paint the bathrooms and make that more fresh and inviting so that while people are waiting, it's a much more pleasant experience to wait for their vehicle to get detailed. That could easily increase the average number of transactions by 10%. So from 2 transactions on average, a 10% increase would be 2.2 average number of transactions year over year. Average dollar sale, that could simply be a price increase. What was once $100 to have your car detailed is now $110. So year over year, the revenue figure increases from $200,000, an actual pretty significant jump, up to $292,000 and change. Pretty big jump year over year, right? Same thing happens when we're looking at our profit margin. Our profit margin increases from 25%, a 10% increase makes it 27.5%. That means that $292,000 and change multiplied by 27.5%, this business went from a $50,000 gross profit to an $80,000 gross profit and change. Pretty significant jump year over year in profitability. And more importantly than the numbers are the percentages, okay? Year over year, that means that this business's number of customers increased by 21%. The revenue increased by 46% year over year. And that increase in gross profit represents a 61% increase in gross profit. Now, who here might be interested in a 61% increase in gross profit year over year? The clients that we work with experience this year after year after year. Our average client retention is between 2.5 and 3 years on average. Why in the world would someone stick around working with a business coach for 2 or 3 or more years? It's because this works. That's why. We've actually got a couple of clients that have been working with us 6 years, and one of them's been working with us over 9 years. Again, this works, and it pays forward year after year after year. This is not a single year's effort. Let's see how much we can increase profit, and then we take our foot off the gas. No, this is year after year. We've got the opportunity to improve additional areas of the business and increase profit. So what I'd like to encourage you to do is test and measure your 5 ways. Measure these metrics in your business. If you're not measuring this, then you're never going to manage it very effectively. I can tell you that. Reach out, and I can help walk you through what that looks like in your business. For some businesses and some business models and some industries, it's a little bit more difficult to figure out what those 5 ways metrics are or how exactly to approach it. So reach out. I do this week after week after week with our clients and with just business owners out in the marketplace. I'm happy to give you the gift of some of my time to walk through that and help you better understand it. Because the more profit you can make in your business, the more impact that you can make through your business. And that's really where my heart's at. I want you to be able to make an impact, whatever that looks like for you. I want you to be able to make a greater impact by way of increased profitability in your business, whether that's a community impact or simply impacting positively your family or creating a legacy for your family to take over once we're all gone. Those are all great purposes, great reasons for us to build something incredible with our business. And you can do that too with your business. So reach out, let's have a chat, and talk through what the 5 ways looks like in your business so that you can increase your profit massively year after year. Cheers.